Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Carl. I'm a recovery coach at Kappa Recovery Center. This is our Freedom Fridays meeting for the day. An article I have here is the seasons of addiction recovery. Let's hop into it. This change is a constant in our lives. Make a decision to follow a different path, fail, and start over. Change is constant. Learn to continuously. When you decide you need or want to change something in your life, you enter into a new chapter, a new season. Your life includes stories, some you want to share and others you want to forget. Everyone has uncomfortable chapters in their life, and everyone flows through chapters of change. Change occurs like the four seasons, each chapter is a new season. So we're going to season one, fall. Autumn is when the trees shed their leaves and the plants prepare to renew their energy. Your life is like the fall. Once you decide to change, you begin the process of shedding negative behaviors. For instance, when you choose to stop using substance, you start dropping harmful habits. I like that part. Um, so it's the recovery process, right? So when we get in recovery from drugs and alcohol, it's like we shed off these old behaviors, these negative mind patterns that we have in our heads, our thinking, our behaviors, bad habits, because we come in recovery with a lot of negative behaviors. And so we get to shed these things off day by day, as long as we work the process of recovery. Just think of your decision to change like the end of the summer. At the end of the summer, there are moments of joy, sorrow, and acknowledgement of facing change. You can enjoy the juncture, but you know the shift in the seasons approaching. As summer turns to fall, many will change their habits to fit the new season. When autumn approaches and then takes hold, summer and its rituals passes by. The first cold day of autumn often pushes people to make changes in their daily habits. The moment you have to realize you need to change your harmful habits is like the first cold day. You know you can make the necessary adjustments at this moment of realizing you can take control of how you decide to write this chapter in your life. Chapter one is the beginning of falling forward. The first step towards stopping substance abuse is taking control and becoming the author of your life. You are the one who can revise your story. Falling forward means stepping out of your comfort zone and embracing the journey to a new you. You will experience some failures, but that's a part of falling forward. You keep going despite failing. Each failure is an opportunity to learn, shed your fear of failure and your harmful habits like a tree shedding its leaves. And like you said, it's talking about falling forward. It's like the process of change. And it's tough, getting to recovery and moving forward with your life without drugs and alcohol. But you have to take that, step of faith, and it's like breaking off these habits that we come in with and we suppress our emotions and feelings with drugs and alcohol for so long, and to change all these negative behaviors that we had can be tough. And I know it sure doesn't happen overnight, but as long as you work the process of recovery and do the things that you need to do, we can break off these chains of negative behaviors and change our mindset and our perception of ourselves and about the world around us. Because that's it's always about the drugs and alcohol, right? But then when the drugs and alcohol are gone, now what am I left with? I'm left with self. I'm left with all this baggage, um, and it can be overwhelming, and it's tough to break off the things that we're used to, right? If we're doing these things day to day and we're surrounding ourselves with people, places, and things every day, an addiction, to like shed that stuff off, you know, um, can be tough. But as long as you work towards it and it talks about stepping forward and, more moving forward in life, it gets easier over time, you know. This is chapter two or season two. Winter. For some, winter is and when nature has lost its glory and it's in a phase of deep sleep. What many don't see is the work going on inside those trees and plants. The roots continue to grow, forming a solid foundation, taking nutrients from the earth, and as they wait for spring. Winter is a pivotal time for growth. Ask yourself, why do you turn to substance? Why is there a need for acceptance, happiness, or control? How can you change your life to achieve your needs without harming yourself in the process? Substance addiction therapy is like winter. You learn to grow, build healthy habits, and take in the information gained in individuals and group therapy. You understand why you saw substance as a way to fend off feelings of depression, anxiety, or other mental health disorders. Therapy builds a root system that takes in why you gave your control to others or a substance. You let outside influences become the author of your life. During addiction treatment, you begin to store the energy you need to take control back and understand your triggers and address your mental health needs. In the chapter of your life, you are becoming the author of your life story. And it talks a little bit about finding out why we use substance in the first place. And a lot of it I didn't know. Like a lot of it was subconscious, right? Share a little personal thing. I didn't know like how much of an impact of my dad not being there in my life. I thought I would tell myself, um, well, he wasn't there. I don't need him. I would tell me all these things, but in my subconscious, when I got into recovery, like that started to come out. We all need our dads and moms and stuff like that. That guidance and that structure, and just that loving, caring person in our life. And like I just suppressed that with drugs and alcohol. And like I can't say if that was one of the reasons why I used, but like that can definitely contribute to it, or played a small part in it. Um, so I get to find out uh, why I used drugs and alcohol in the first place. And a lot of it was my surroundings, the people I was hanging around with, because I thought it was like okay because everybody else was doing it. So, definitely a big thing was people, places, and things. It was a big part of my addiction. And at first, I thought it was fun. I thought it was fun because I was having a good time and everybody else was having a good time. But like my disease took to turn for the worst. It just drove me deeper and deeper into addiction. And that don't happen for everybody, but it happened for me. And if that's happening to you, like there's a way out. But it takes time, it takes work. Um, it definitely takes work and definitely takes time. It says season 3. Spring is when you can feel hope, renewal, and anticipate seeing winter fade away. You come out of addiction therapy with a renewed sense of control over your life. However, even in spring, there are cold snaps. These cold snaps are a reminder that even nature can take steps backward. Hmm. When you begin to grow, push past the winter snow and the fall leaves, you challenge yourself to embrace change, to push, to go forward, and let lead to a halt and a growth or a relapse. If you hit a low obstacle or relapse while you're in recovery, remember you are falling forward. The failures, or as one could say, imperfections, the imperfections are expected. Keep moving forward. A moment of doubt or relapse is falling forward, and it is time to begin again, taking what you learned as a lesson and how not to write this chapter. Build on the imperfections you can grow from then. And I like how I was talking about a little earlier about like I let the substance and drugs and the alcohol, write my chapter of life. You know what I mean? I can become my own author and write my own story. Because the drugs and alcohol have me, have the over control of me. Everything I did, every move I made, it was through substance, right? And like I wasn't in control. The drugs had me wrapped up in a grip, and I didn't have a choice, right? I didn't have a choice in active addiction when I was using. Um, because, for one, we can become physically dependent on it. We're physically dependent on substance, right? Then the mental obsession, the compulsion, can't stop. We need more. And I did whatever was necessary to get what I wanted, what I needed. So I definitely had a grip on me, and I didn't know how to shake it. The only thing that worked for me, man, was like when I went into treatment, got out of treatment, like I continued on working on myself in recovery. And that, for Capital Recovery Center, for me, we welcome to all pathways of recovery. So we have to find out what works for you. We can't just put substance down and think we're okay. Because I've done that. I had a little bit of clean time, absence, and it just didn't work for me. I had to dig deep and find out what was wrong with me, and why I was using drugs and alcohol. What's the underlying issues? What's the root of my dilemma? What's really going on? And like I would be honest, right? But like to extent, I wasn't open and honest. Telling half truths, right? Not digging deep and letting people know what's really going on with me. Because we don't like to feel. I don't like expressing my emotions and feelings, right? Does that sound familiar? It's tough doing that. That's alienated. I didn't seem right with me, because I didn't grow up that way. Isolated myself. Isolation is deadly. And like if I stayed silent and didn't tell somebody some truth, I could have lost my life in the process, for sure. Let's go to the summer, season 4, summer. As you cruise into the summer, you lose the layers you have around you, layers that provide comfort or warmth. Removing layers allow you to become aware of how you interact with your environment. You can feel, see, or taste everything. Everywhere there is something new, exciting, or interesting. The urge to try something new and push past your comfort zone is exhilarating. Even in the summer, you can find some new growth while appreciating the roots that keep you grounded. Recovery is a constant. It provides the roots to keep you grounded while also encouraging you to try new things. When you remain active in group meetings or individual therapy, you are feeding the roots of your change. New adventures or activities are the branches that continue to grow because the roots provide sustenance. Yet, even in the summer, there are moments when you can fall forward, keeping writing your chapter by moving forward as you revisit the past and therapy. The cycle of the seasons means you can always review and change parts of your life. Life is continuously changing. Keep falling forward and keep writing your chapters. Shed the areas in your life that are harmful or don't bring you joy. After you process the shedding of habits, go into allow a pause between letting go of unhealthy habits and starting new traditions. In this pause, you will learn and grow, creating strength in your story. When spring and then summer roll into each other, find the comfort and joy and control found in being the author of your life. Fall forward into recovery and spring forth to the brighter days ahead. Yes, it's like you're writing a new chapter in your life, and shedding off the all harmful and not so nice things that we came in recovery with. Like I said earlier, we come in with a lot of baggage. We come in with a lot of shame, guilt, remorse, fear, resentments, things I didn't care about, and that's all the stuff that kept me using, right? So I always avoid things, working on myself. I see that too, like avoidance. It was a key factor in my addiction. I would avoid these things, right? And then me avoiding these things what kept me stuck in the grip. So like in recovery, I have to shed this stuff off, and like we talk about therapy, counseling, 12-step programs. There's church therapy. There's multiple pathways of recovery, and I always say that's always welcomed. All pathways are always welcome. You just have to find what works for you, and because you have to get with something. I always say it. As an addict, as a recovering addict, I have to find something to help me. I can't just do this alone. I tried that and it doesn't work, right? So I had to I got to get a good foundation in my life, and we talk about the foundation of roots that grow out to, let's say, meetings, support groups, and our recovering addicts and people that's trustworthy and are there for you, a good support system, meetings, it branches out to a lot of things. You have to find something. It's not fun to try to get recovery alone. It's just not possible, as I see. But let's see here. It says life is constantly changing. You do not know what is coming your way, but you often allow what is behind you to determine your present and future. Instead of giving your control to other people or substance, learn how to shed and replenish, begin anew, and grow. Every moment there is a chance to clear our past and start the process of change. You can take control and become the author of your life. Substance addiction recovery is a part of becoming that author. Treatment helps you shed your harmful habits, restore your health, and again and grow strong. Yeah, we kid talks about a little bit of the past. Like, I can't let the past define who I am today. I let that happen to me for the longest. I would tell the stuff I was doing, the things I was telling myself kept me stuck, and it kept me in the grip of addiction, and like in recovery, like I don't let my past define who I can become or my future or who I am today. Like I'm okay with myself. I don't like a lot of things I've done, but like where acceptance and surrender is like, okay, that's not me. That's me caught up in the grip, but like that's not me today in recovery. And we all fall short. Like life, it talks about life shows up. Life in life terms comes our way. Things just don't stop because we get in recovery, right? So it's like recovery's taught me when these things arise, right? Like good coping skills, right? Having trustworthy people, going to meetings, talking to other recovering addicts, being open and honest and willing, right? The principles of recovery we talk about. As long as I had that and working on that, I can handle anything that comes my way, right? I don't have to use drugs and alcohol. I just don't have to. As before when I was caught in a grip, it was like I was physically and mentally dependent on it. And it was hard to break that. But recovery has taught me I have a better coping mechanism. I have other good tools in my toolbox today. It says your seasons of life will provide you with the privacy and comfort you require to leave substance behind. Our detoxification center has trained addiction specialists to guide you through the detox process. For more information, that was just the ending of the article. So I like the season of addiction recovery. I like how it like broke down the analogies and stuff like that, and I can definitely relate to it. It's like I get in recovery and I look like I'm like this tree and I'm shedding off these leaves. And that can look like whatever, fear, anger, like I said, resentments, frustration, patience, tolerance, all that good stuff. And there's things like I try to flip things today. I take the negative into a positive. Just a quick switch. And it just takes work. It takes time. And always, I can't do it alone. Right? There's no way we can do it alone. Especially for me. Because I want to live today. And how do I become a better person, right? How do I change? Um, there's a lot of things that we can apply in our lives instead of substance. There's different ways we can go through life. And listen, life's short. Life is too short to let substance control our lives. You know, but it's hard to like see that that's not a thing. I couldn't see it for myself. I couldn't see the good in life or see good for me, because I'm my worst enemy. I'm my always worst critic. You know, we can beat ourselves up over and over and over again. If we keep beating ourselves up and keep telling ourselves the same things over and over again, more than likely we're not going to make it. You know, so I had to like break that illusion of like, I can be somebody, I can get clean, I can have this and that, I can have freedom from active addiction, I can lose the desire to use, I can have this and that, material things, which, material things come and go, but they are nice to have. But, I just had to break that said, negative self-talk, which is my own voice. That was hard. So that was our Freedom Fridays meeting for the day and the Seasons of Addiction Recovery. I want to thank you guys for being here. And my name is Carl. I'm a recovery coach here at Cap Recovery Center. Until next time, we'll see you later.